Hey guys, how's it going? I've actually managed today. I went ahead and did some practice. Oh, I didn't get the video from the. Go ahead and write that down for a second here. I need to actually get some video from arm digs. Digs. And I'll go ahead and have that posted on my page for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Or I hope you enjoyed it if you already watched it. I hope you enjoy it once I put it on this Twitter page here. And yeah. All right. I've actually been able to manage to actually activate my brain's higher functions, and it's creating a really interesting set of events, which include not limited to is like it feels like I'm talking to two people. Like I'm sitting there having a conversation with this other part of my brain that is just waking up, and it's really butt wild. I went ahead and I delivered an excess amount of blood to the brain via an exercise, and I could feel it cooling off. It's like right up in here is this section here. It's like the Jew hot spot, like and it's slowly becoming part of my brain tissue function, and it's really interesting. My sense of smell is enhanced. My capacity to perceive stuff like plant smells, and people is enhanced. It's been quite an incredible experience, and it is a definite duality that is slowly dwindling into non-duality. Um, it's pretty interesting, and it's like I'm studying myself as I'm going through the process of discovery. It's just simple brain tissue that's been, and neurons and whatnot that are finally being fed enough blood in order to actually function normally. And becoming aware of themselves, becoming aware of their function within my brain, which is pretty neat. I guess it's kind of like having a child in a way, but it's not really a child. I was going to say, okay, well, I'll go ahead and teach you how to access that. Because since you guys want to kill each other, you might as well go ahead and go through the process with the panache and style and grace, like you like to do so much. All right, so I'll teach you how to do that. But first, I'm going to give you an education on your hands because you are bananas about your hands. You're so bananas about your hands. All right, this planet has this tendency to go boom. This thing, you already gone ahead and I gave you a lecture on the fact that the planet likes to explode. Now, a catastrophic event of that kind of magnitude where there's no chance in hell for any member of the species to survive, but as you can see, species do evolve sufficiently in order to be able to actually go into outer space and survive such an explosion, which would be the parent, which is the planet in question, the parent being the planet in question, would actually give birth to the species into outer space to go ahead and navigate and migrate to a new planet. All right. Now, for something like that, we have all sorts of adaptive warning signs and symbols and whatnot all over our planet. You just don't pay attention to it too much. Like, for example, some poisonous frogs are very, very brightly colored. And when the sun goes down, the sky actually darkens. Whenever fall is coming or there's something going on, like whenever the season is about to change, the leaves start to change. If there's an earthquake, and you may not even be feeling an earthquake, but animals start to bolt. Even if the earthquake hasn't taken place, things start to act kind of funky. The planet has multiple ways. Like, for example, one key example I guess I can give you right now is dogs. Now, whenever somebody has a pet dog and they start to have a brain seizure, the dog will sense it. Now, because the dog has whiskers and whatnot, the vibrations travel through the hairs into the head, and physically allow the dog to perceive an electrical, kind of like an interference, which is probably good information for some people to have, which is the interesting cats for some people, and they're just not aware of the function. So you have this vibration that goes in, and it actually interferes temporarily, and the dog starts to freak out, and it gets very, very the dog becomes very uneasy. It is due to the electrical impulse interference entering into his head, and it's because their owner is about to have a seizure. So into the blows. This planet is all about the blows. The two eyes, because you have two eyes. Now the reason is you have two eyes going on here is literally because first of all you do have copper in your bloodstream, of course, and a lot of the times the copper actually, if you're copper deficient, it's said that you're born as a cyclops. You're only born with one eye, but there's only been a few cases of that on this planet. But it does happen. Now, one of the things, the blow symbols and warning signs are all around you. Now, you're going to say, you're going to sit there and laugh at my ass. Okay, well, it's two eyes. There will be an entry point and exit point for one of these blows. And then you've got, of course, which is your hands, which is the most interesting aspect you have going on here. What ends up happening is you see here this triangle. This is actually a timer, as well as a bomb. This is a bomb. This is actually an ancient, believe it or not, it is very true. There's an ancient nanotechnology that was released into the universe for the sole purpose of destroying it. And it was commandos entered into that. And I know I'm boning a bunch of people doing this, but I think I'm fed up with people. Because you think so highly of yourself, and I've had enough of you. All right. This particular bomb here. The commando code that was entered was that to create a perfect three-sided triangle. Now, what that does is this particular piece of microtechnology that spans the universe will forever be attempting to solve this puzzle. Now, in this type of a situation, there's also a secondary. It's every type of communication, whether it be planetary, interplanetary, or intergalactic, or interuniverse, is going to be in the most efficient form that can possibly be generated. So, in other words, this isn't like Star Trek where you have a long-winded conversation with a little beeper on the side. It's more like your type of cryptologic and cryptographic information. Everything's in shorthand. Everything's there's multiple packets of information within a very small space, even within one letter, right? And the experiential factors and other things which you guys currently employ are also involved in perceiving a message, including hypnosis, brain function, chemical function, the whole 9 yards. You're absolutely right in regards to what you're considering. That it is that simple, and it's also that confusing, and it can be that much fun, and it can drive you crazy, which is part of the process. Now, one of the other things you have about your blows, blow central here, is that this is a blow. Actually, this is also a holographic image of an actual blow of your own planet. Now, if you recall, I went ahead and I was on Twitter talking about the fact that one of these ships, when they go down, they go down into the funnel here, right? So what you're looking at here is you have the sun, right? The sun enters one point and it comes out on the other way. And this is a calculation for the actual exit point, the entry point of the sun into the particular waterways of the planet, and piercing the planet, and where its final resting point for the apex is going to be at. Then you also have the funnel, which ends up showing up here. And you also have a flag for a Navy ship. Now, the reason you have that going on is not because the planet's been traveling in time, or because there's a group of people that are your personal heroes that are traveling within time and timelines in order to save your asses, believing you're not worth it at all. What ends up happening is a filter. The planetary intelligence, actually, whether it's people or whether it's actual organic planets or a series of organisms are stationed in a location on a planet by the planet itself in order to send a message to the rest of the galaxy or the rest of the other planets. It's instinctual. This is an instinctual warning sign. And what ends up happening is, by any way means possible, in order to preserve the most precious thing there is in the universe, which is life, and the materials by which to generate life, which you are throwing away like the cattle that you are. So let me go ahead and, so once again, you have the blow here, right? You see that? All right, you have the funnel going on here, and this would be on both ends. You have like the Cuban and the Puerto Rican flag, which are two different triangles, and the reason it's purple is because purple is supposed to be evil. It's supposed to be Satan. Is because when it takes place, the planet explodes. So a lot of these messages are from other planets. Others of them are from within your planet's lifetime. This planet's lifetime, I should say. Sorry, I've been I've been talking to a bunch of people, and we've been bouncing back and forth. It's horrible crap you're going on. Yeah, at least it's usable. It's kind of nice. And you guys are running around in really expensive cars and really great computers, right? Yeah, all right. And you're making so much money off this person, right? Off of me. Ah! All right. So, yeah. I'm choosing cuties. So basically, you have the big fact that this particular blows are purple and they're evil and whatnot. What ends up happening is you have like the two triangles, which is the two funnels. Once the funnels are formed, one is the sun's heat, which is the red triangle for Cuba, and the blue triangle is actually for the other side of the planet when the blow goes through. The reason why the purple is evil is because you have the intersection of heat, which is when the planet explodes. All right, and then of course you have a countdown that goes on, which is actually genetically instinctual because the communications amongst planets, which I explained on actual some of the RM Dig stuff, is also part of the communication system that for any instincts and whatnot, which also builds genetic code and genetics in general. So what ends up happening is prior to one of these planetary explosions, or a major funnel where it is suspected that a situation such as a military ship or a threat to the planet that will be on the surface, which, believe it or not, your planet knows way better the threat matrix than any of you motherfuckers will ever be, right? This planet here, our planet. Anyway, what ends up happening is a bulb shows up. Right? This particular bulb is an eyeball. Now, what it is literally a manifestation of the event that is about to take place. It's kind of like getting pregnant, but it's not. It's genetics actually activating during the acquisition or perception of a specific series of events. Like, for example, you will see stuff that's like a halo. It's like a hairy halo that's above trees and all around them, like a big hairy halo. And what ends up happening is the DNA reacts. You know how when you go outside when the sun's hot and whatnot, you get a sunburn, right? You get a really bad sunburn. Your body turns red. It's a similar reaction to those types of energies. So what ends up happening is this bulb shows up here, and it looks like a third eye, and it is physically telling you that there is the potential for a blow. Right? You have this bulbous mass that shows up here, and it looks completely like an eyeball and a belly button. Because that's how it forms. It funnels down and it funnels down. And it forms. What else? I know there's something else. Hang on. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff. Like, for example, sunflower seeds actually have the same information within the Fibonacci sequence. This is also information that comes from other planets, believe it or not. Now, how in the hell does that happen, right? Well, for example, you have a low frequency resonance coming from the suns of other planets, and what it does is whenever the planet's in the solar system in a specific configuration, it actually sends the signals out forward. Like you have the resonant frequency of the particular sun, as well as the coronal light, and it both acts as sound and light, and it actually sends this stuff out. Especially when the event is taking place on one particular planet at that time. And if you think about it, all right, during an eclipse, when the sun's power is the most potent, the water will magnify the event, and it'll actually kind of create a holographic image, and it'll send it, literally, and it sends it all across the universe. And it'll generate multiple holographic magnetic lines of a similar imagery. And we all know what specific magnetic art does to objects around it. So don't even start. Especially potent eudaimonia magnetic art. Yes. All right. So it sends it out, and it kind of creates its own personal warning system, so to speak. And it's kind of a siren. Believe it or not. Yeah, your entire planet is all about these blurs. My entire planet. I keep thinking about this stuff like your planet. And your planet really is, and it's my planet as well. So yeah, gotta get a grip. I'm processing so much information, it's freaking unbelievable. Let me go ahead and give you the gift of the century. All right. You're going to throw up. Believe it or not, how this works. Okay, so if you understand the planetary blows, you understand the surface of the planet, you understand these magnetic lines, you understand these magnetic energies, and I'll go ahead and post this video that I put up of myself being danced and dancing with these magnetic energies, as well as geophysical and physics and light emitting energies from the planet here. Make sure I have my stuff with me. You can go ahead and get your information that way. So, let me go ahead and put all your doctors in an insane asylum. Are you ready? Yes, we are going to put all of our doctors, all of these neurologists, straight in a straitjacket. All right. Whenever you are working out, whenever you're doing exercises, let me go ahead and let me get into something here real quick, because millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars have been spent on activation of higher brain functions. Decades of this stuff going on. And I figured out how to go ahead and stimulate brain function, higher brain functions. In fact, most of them without, this, what is it, the copper pentahydrate, is it? And on all these other drugs and all this other shit that you people are putting in yourself. It's so simple. It's like it's Jack's biggest retarded jackass of the century. Whenever you work out, when you're lifting weights and whatnot, you strain your neck, but you pull all the blood from your heart and whatnot into these specific muscles, these specific regions of the body. And a lot of you guys are promoting these electronic implants as a God's gift to the brain. Well, actually, it's useless if your brain doesn't have enough blood. The implants are garbage. They are absolute pig vomit. Without blood going to the brain. And in fact, if you do not speak, part of the brain's blood pumping process, as well as stimulation and vasodilation and vasoconstriction and the assistive nature of blood to the brain, is from communication, from using your muscles here, muscles, and blinking and whatnot, which is about the only muscles you use around your brain to actually pump blood in and out of it. Assist your heart in pumping blood in and out. There's somebody at my door that is going to die if they come into my house. All right. Anyway, the brain also, there's another way. If you stop speaking, you're not feeding your brain at all. So this idea that all these people are giving you that not getting a cybernetic implant is a good idea and do cocaine, they're just murdering you. They're just flat out, these are the dumbest motherfuckers on the planet. The way to get your brain a nice dose of blood isn't by hanging your head upside down. Well, granted, it's a good idea, but it makes blood pool and actually strains some things. But Batman was right. That is one way to get that shit done. And there's another way, which is the Rodriguez method. Yes. All right. So remember this thing? Right. All right. That is actually brain training for function. And then you have something like, you're basically imitating the tree of life. You're actually asserting your position at the top of the food chain. So the next one up is you moving the rear flaps and not just the bottom flap, which is your ass is mine, by the way. Have a nice fucking. And let me go through this one more time. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? What? I don't understand what's going on. Okay, no, okay, look. I'm just looking with my face. Okay, look at this. Oh my gosh, I can't control it. Hang on. All right. You see, I can't even think of it. Okay, we see the muscle in the neck here really, really tight, but still, it's how I fucking video this. Okay, no. Okay, what ends up happening? Yeah. Right, it gets blood up into the upper regions here. Doing that. Yeah, it's really what you're doing is you're weightlifting and bringing the blood up into your neck, and it goes straight up into this area of the brain, and stuff like trees smells so good. Your chemistry is altered tremendously. You sound like a freak. But since you're bringing the blood up to your head, you're doing a lot more for yourself. And all these drug dealers you're about to find out are out to murder you for real. All these people are trying to kill you. They're not even attempting to give you any pleasure. They're just trying to flat out kill you, and trying to grow themselves new appendages in order to do multiple things in order to make themselves feel adequate. And they also try to kill you in order to make themselves feel adequate by making you inadequate to survive or function as a human being. Enough said, and get this man out of my house.